NSC Fan TV. I'm here with Professor John Sloop. We are going to talk about some of your work at Broadway Sports Media. We're going to talk a little bit about sort of the philosophy of soccer and the philosophy of fandom. And we'll talk about the upcoming game at Geodis Park. Thanks for coming on.
I'm very excited to be here. It's always great. I've been here once before with you, and it was exciting.
It was the end of the season review.
Yeah.
So happy to have you back. I'm going to make you. You're going to have to be a regular. And so let's start by talking about a piece that you wrote about 2 weeks ago about excruciating wins in soccer. So that was prompted by the win away at the Columbus Crew. So tell me about this. We all know what an excruciating loss was. Anyone who watched that Galaxy game knows what that feels like. So tell me what an excruciating win is.
Well, so this is probably going to sound a little absurd to some people, but I think that I think what makes soccer so magnificent as a sport, at least as a fan, is that it's almost all excruciating, right? It's almost, and it is. I mean, it's lovely. There are moments of excitement, moment of relief, but the fact of the matter is, what some people think is boring, who don't watch soccer, the 0-0, the 1-0, they don't understand that all those moments lead to an incredible tension for the fan, right?
Right.
So, watching your team down 1-0, you're depressed, etc., but you've got this hope,
moments of hope.
Moments and then they just keep getting crushed, right? Not always, but they get crushed.
Hence the excruciating loss.
I know, but I mean, they get crushed more often than they get fulfilled.
Right.
That's the loss. When you're up 1-0, you're terrified every time the other team has the ball down. Every time your team makes a mistake, you think, if only we can get
so
2-0.
vulnerable. Yeah.
I know. If only we can get to 2-0, we've got this. But 2-0 doesn't even feel safe.
Doesn't feel safe.
Because then you worry that if other team scores, your opposition scores one goal.
They're going to be back in it. They're going to have some momentum.
Yeah. So that game, which we won, to me it was the real example of that. What I love about the sport, in the sense that I was tied up in knots trying to finish the game, and I
couldn't breathe for the last 20 minutes.
I couldn't. I mean, no. And I said this on the article. I don't think it was you, the one who I read, but someone on Facebook had said I held my breath for 20 minutes, and literally they didn't. But I believe that. I mean, it felt that way to me. You leave, you feel relief. It is. It's what makes the game so incredible. And so I'm going to say this one thing, and then I'll shut up. I don't want to ramble about it, but there's a...
Brought you on to talk.
I know. But I told you I wanted to talk really briefly. Philosopher Simon Critchley, he wrote a book called What We Think About When We Think About Soccer. And he's a Liverpool fan. He's trying to write a phenomenology of soccer, which isn't that important, right, for what I want to say. When he talks about fanship, and he talks about the feelings we have as fans, he uses this term, sensate ecstasy, right? And he's really getting at, in a way, something I try to talk about all the time. You feel connected with others. It's the sport is a sport of affect. It's not just sitting and looking and analyzing. I mean, I've got all that at my hands. I'm looking at XG. I'm looking at stats. But that's not. I don't care about that. It's the sensation. You can say other sports do this, but not in the way of soccer. And it's because of the rarity of the goals. It's so rare.
And the excruciating feling of the close ones, in particular this goal line moment.
That was awful.
Oh my God.
Right. Oh my God.
That was truly horrible. Right.
Goal line technology is the one type of review that I'm all for. I have trouble with a lot of video review, but I'm totally for it.
I've seen too many cases of play being disrupted profoundly by the offsides rule and the lines and things like that looks incredibly artificial to me.
Right. Yep.
The angles and things like that. There's nothing compelling about that. There could be. It seems to me that is something that they could do briskly and without all the lines and so on. But goal line technology is something that
it's simple and it's expensive, evidently, but it's simple, and And it doesn't interrupt the game. It
buzzes on your watch, and that's
Yeah,
it, man.
Yeah.
So so I think that we have some agreement there. But in some ways, having a game that has human errors and like another element to the human there is maybe just a part of it that we should be comfortable.
And I've always
that human fallibility.
I was against VAR at all, except again, goal line technology seems yes or no, right? That works.
Yeah.
The rest of it still ends up with human interpretation. So I'd rather just let the game flow, have mistakes made. I'm totally with you on that. I don't. Of course, I want people to make the right calls.
Right. I want goals to be goals, and I want offsides to be offsides.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, we need to accept the fact that we're humans, and that we're going to have that part of the game is the fact that humans will be calling the game.
Yes, and for the most part, I don't think that the controversies have been settled because of VAR. Because the ones that go to review are so close that everyone's still angry. So I don't see the value.
And maybe one of the places where review is useful is in terms of being able to detect handballs. And to be able to assess the severity of how bad a tackle was, right? So you get to be like, look, on review, we saw that the studs were coming up, or it looked like we were able to detect that he actually did make contact with someone's face. And so those are cases that look.
I agree with you. I was just thinking the experience of when your player. I was thinking of different times when I've watched review take place. Like I said, Premier League, I'm a Chelsea fan. There was a handball Marcos Alonso had a couple of weeks ago, and watching it over and over, it was it
just looks so much worse every time.
Well, or I don't see it, and then the referee makes the call. It's again, I just want to say, part of that pain is again what attracts me to the sport.
No, that's interesting, and so and this is in some ways part of your original point, which was that sometimes the review actually doesn't settle the matter. It just looks like it makes it worse that now we're splitting hairs over something in slow mo. Yeah. So let's talk about the closing the gap idea that you've had here, because it's in some ways it's a commentary on really what we're walking into Sunday, the moment where Nashville Soccer Club, originally Nashville Football Club, is going to be moving into its new stadium. It's now a full-fledged member of the MLS, 2 times going to the playoffs. This is such a success story. Tell us what you mean by closing the gap and what that gap is.
So I want to talk about that, and I'm going to, but I want to say something right now about this. There's something about us going into our stadium this Sunday that feels more momentous than going into it feels like this is the start. I know we've been MLS. I know we've been MLS 2 things.
I don't know if you saw two runs on the playoffs.
Yeah. We saw that, but this still feels like a beginning, and I think that's significant. And what
it's like the christening, right?
Yeah,
like, baby's born, and baby's doing great, but now
I like that. That's great. What I want to do, and I'm not policing anybody's fanship or anything like that, but I think we should all take a moment to reflect on just how significant this is. And I know we get it. You hear, if you look social media, everyone loves the stadium, everyone's
so excited. Yeah.
But for this moment, I feel like saying on Sunday at least, yes, there's going to be headaches. Yes, there's going to be problems. We all recognize that.
Because you use the P word. Don't use the P word. Don't use the P word.
I know. I don't want that to be. Let's for the moment
be part
instead of talking
that
about
is part of
just
life.
say this
That's
is
part of life.
This is what we're going to do. The thing is, we get to go into this stadium, and years ago there was nothing there, and the closing the gap is the way I'm using that phrase is because I was with one of the founders and one of the USL owners, Marcus Whitney, at Vanderbilt Stadium, and I tell the story in the article where he looked out and he was depressed because it seemed so few people inside the stadium, and he's like,
and you're playing on a turfy football field.
It was sort of dismal, even though the fans were great, right? It was still sort of a dismal feeling, and he said the good thing about being in here, and I was like, there's nothing good about being, but he said the good thing about being here is now we can see the gap between where we want to be and where we are right now. And I thought, wow, what a thing to say. And I wondered, are we going to see Vanderbilt football stadium filling? And I couldn't have imagined everything that's happened. The gap was gigantic. When we think about it, this has happened so fast. It doesn't it's not been that fast, but it has been fast, right? It has been. I didn't picture MLS ever making it here, and wow.
And here we are, and the league looks like, and we're going to be a prime spot, and getting national coverage for this. Playing against one of the best teams in the MLS right now. Fulham Union is looking,
and we're coming
really
off
good.
We're coming off
Really
what
good.
is numerically a very successful road trip.
Right.
It's hard to remind ourselves how hard road playing is and how good we did. Well we did.
Road play's hard generally. In MLS, it's even harder.
Yeah.
And we played against a lot of really good teams.
Yeah.
And so the numbers that we're bringing home have got us just on the bubble of being playoff eligible anyhow. And in some ways we've sort of got two races in the MLS. We've got the supporter shield race, which is top of the table, top of all the tables race. And then we've got the sort of the cup eligibility race, the playoff race. And that makes it a kind of a mid-table race. And the great news is that we're on a super pace. We're all, just with road wins, we're on a pace to be playoff eligible. Again, just by a hair's breadth away. But with that road percentage, that's actually makes us really good contenders for the community for the. I keep wanting to say community shield, but that's my BPL.
I do believe that, and I think the first season in a home stadium is generally pretty magical. So I'm expecting good things there. I mean, we looked at what happened with Sporting Kansas City, had a fantastic year their first year in their stadium. This happens over and over. I would not want to be. I'm not saying I'm not guaranteeing a win, but I would not want to be Philadelphia coming into our stadium opening.
Yeah, I mean it's unfortunate that we're having to play a team that's really, really, really hot right now. But again, MLS is a place where it's hard to win on the road, and that stadium is going to be highly motivated, one, to win, and two, to beat them.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
To beat them, because that playoff loss to them was.
Oh yeah,
that still stings. That still stings. Every time I see it,
I don't even want to talk about it.
Every time I see anyone taking pens.
I mean, we could have won that game easily.
Yeah,
easily.
That was a winnable game.
That was. You talk about excruciating loss, excruciating draw before the penalties. That was excruciating all the way through.
And I think that the margins between us and Philadelphia, and between NYCFC and New England, I think that those four teams in the East were all really only different. There were so many small differences between those teams in terms of the quality of play. New England was consistently better than everybody else, but we had them.
Oh yeah, no,
we tied them away and we beat them here.
Yeah, we were better than them.
And given how close the final was. Look, there's something really hopeful about that, right? I mean, the Cup final was again another one of these incredibly close games. This is the margins between us being knocked out in that round versus being able to go all the way through. We had a lot of folks, even after the Orlando win, were just like, we have a chance.
I know. The part of me that's laughing is you can say, well, this is a hopeful sign, but there's also part of me as a fan that says, "Oh my God, we missed our chance."
Yeah. This was us at the flood.
I know.
Right?
That was it.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah, I mean, and the think of the hubris of someone saying, "Yeah, we were within a hair's breadth of being able to do this in a year whenever the Supporter Shield winner won it by record margin, but they didn't even go to the final." So, I know. Okay, so. Tell me some things that you're hoping for whenever we open Geoda's Park. What are some things that you're looking forward to seeing?
The game itself, of course, but that's not number one. It's actually
interesting.
Not. I mean, I can't wait to see the game, but I could watch us play anytime. So this is. I was talking to some friends this morning, and they were saying I'm more excited about this than I was our first MLS game, and I'm the same way. I'm way more excited about this because I'm looking forward to seeing. First off, what does it feel like to have a sold out 30,000 seat stadium.
Place is gonna be rocking, man.
It's going to be loud and rocking. What is the supporter section going to look like, right? Great standing supporter section, safe standing. I want to see all that. I want to see what it feels like. I want to see the people who. I mean, I know people who are going who have never gone before to soccer, and they're going to this because it's this event. I've got several friends who weren't soccer fans who bought season tickets because they would, and I want to watch. This is like church. I want to watch conversions while I'm there because they're going to take place. They are going to take place.
There are going to be people who are like, I just became a soccer fan. What
Right. It's going to be this. I mean, I know when it happened to me. I wasn't raised that way, so I know it was watching a game, and I was like, it's all over. My life has changed. And I was right. I knew that was going to happen, and I think that'll happen here. Now, I'm not going to see every one of those. You aren't either.
No.
But we're going to know it's happening.
Yeah.
Because it is going to be magnificent. I do hope the weather's good. The only thing, I'm not jinxing it. There's a chance of lightning storms. That I don't mind rain. I don't want something that delays. I don't want something that delays the party.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
But I'm looking forward more to the the sensate ecstasy of the crowd. I'm looking forward to that in this game. It's going to be. I mean, I always love that, but that's super important to me in this game. So you're ready to go. Are you going to go up early to the game?
I'm going to go early. So NSC Fan TV will probably have like a kind of a mashup set of videos of talking to folks before the game. I did the tour, got to see the practice and walked all around the park and have opinions about where I want to hang out and where I want to grab a bite and so on. And really looking forward to sitting in my seat. Is that weird?
No, I can't.
I want to sit in that seat. I want to sit in the seat that is my seat at this stadium. I can't sit in that seat.
I can't wait the first time to sit there and just think this is going to be where I sit. This is it.
This is my place.
You'll see me here every game, right? Yeah. I think that's going to be super exciting as well.
And I'm looking forward to building that community with folks around it. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like the first day of school or the first day of where you're getting your seat and then you're finding the people around you and you realize some of these people are going to become really good friends, right?
Yeah.
Who I didn't know before.
That's kind of magic, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's magic.
That's kind of magic.
Those stadium seat buddies that's often
amazing.
turns into something sort of cool.
Yeah, and so that happened with the kind of the crew around me just at the Titan Stadium over at Nissan in the sort of that short season that had everyone sort of splayed out over in that first bit where we had to kind of be sitting, like they were putting us up in the third deck for games at the beginning with the COVID distancing. Everyone had masks for so long. Even in that short period of time, there was a kind of camaraderie with the regulars.
Absolutely was.
Yeah.
And all those first, and I'm going to keep that in mind. That's why I wrote the closing the gap thing was to sort of say, this is the moment. Remember it, right? Remember it all. This is the special moment.
Yeah, there are going to be a lot of things to say.
No, seriously, I'm going to be thinking this is ridiculous, but it's going to be like the first time, the first beer I had at this table, or the first. I'm excited about all.
I'm with you there.
I'm excited about all that.
Yeah. I already had my first beer at the stadium at the.
Well, I mean during the game. Yeah.
The giant 24-ounce cans.
Only $25 or so. Right?
I know. I think they had to check my credit score before I got to buy one. Maybe we'll now. I'm going to ask you the $1 million question, which is what are you expecting going forward? What do you see from this team, given what we've seen, given what you've seen from facing the adversity on the road? What are you expecting from them?
I feel very confident we'll make the playoffs. I mean, I don't, and I'm a really pessimistic fan, but I feel very confident about that.
Okay. Mid-table race.
Yeah,
feel pretty solid about the mid-table.
I feel very solid. I feel very good about that. And they're going to continue coming together. They play together pretty well right now. I'm not a person who feels comfortable being an armchair manager. I did feel like in the last game.
I'll tell you, I felt pretty comfortable doing that.
There was
the subs. Where are the subs?
The subs, and then the second half just felt like we were parking two buses the whole time. It was like it felt like for the first time I felt like, oh my God, this doesn't feel like we're even trying to.
Yeah, I don't. I'm okay with playing bunker ball.
Yeah,
I know bunker ball has to be played correctly, and I, by my estimate, thought that we didn't do that right.
Okay, so anyway, I'm not even going to go there.
Okay.
I think that we're not going to put ourselves in a position to have to do that a lot. I think that we're actually going to score. We defend well. Let's keep that up. As long as everyone stays healthy, I feel very good about the future. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, that is one of the challenges. We've got some we might say sort of autumn of their career players.
Yep.
And keeping them healthy. We've already seen this with Bunbury.
Yep.
That these sort of autumn age players take knocks a little bit more heavily and take a little longer to come back. What do you think about the bench?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Okay.
I mean,
Right.
I guess what I would say is our normal starting lineup I feel very, very comfortable with, and I feel comfortable with the bench as the bench.
Okay.
I don't want want a lot of our bench coming in as starters all the time.
But that's the
Right, but
problem. That's the
about
problem we're
injury.
going to have to face because like CJ Sapon, for as excellent a player as he is, is someone with a lot of miles on him. And the same thing with our midfield. Our starting midfielders are autumn. This is closer to November.
But we have guys that, to be quite frank, I wasn't sure Taylor Washington was going to make it from USL to MLS, and he's just completely impressed me.
He is such a worker.
You can put him on the bench, or you can put him starting. I'm happy. So we do have players like that.
We've got players that we plug in like that.
We've got players like that too. So
yeah,
but I don't think we're facing any problems that are any different than every other MLS team.
I think that's correct. Okay.
For the most part, injuries happen. There are people who, we have players who I think whose injury or absence would hurt us more than others. And every team has that, right?
Sure.
You don't want to see Walker Zimmerman out for a long period of time. That's for sure.
Zimmerman and Mukhtar are the ones that the drop off between them and the bench is going to be pretty significant.
Yeah, and they just both do so much. And Mukhtar, even if he's not scoring, he's a threat.
He's contributing.
You've got to chase him around.
So maybe a last question, and again, this is a little bit more sort of armchair manager, but maybe also as a fan, what do you think of the throwing Zimmerman forward as part of the let's see what happens if Walker plays forward? Some other opinions have been voiced on NSC Fan TV about this, but what are your thoughts on that?
I don't.
We're down a goal. Do we throw?
Yeah,
do we just bring the thunder?
If we're down a goal, but if you're talking about experimenting with this in any of
over
the course of a game,
that's two questions. Right.
Yeah.
So if we're down a goal, you're okay with this? Make him just part of
let's try it out. But he's
point
too
guard.
important during the run of the game in his position.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to see him doing that in the 30th minute. No, we just say for 5 minutes, go play forward.
Yeah. I'll take that. I'd absolutely take that. Right?
Okay.
Because he shows us over and over again he can score, right?
Yes,
so we know
he's
that,
great
right?
in the air. It looks like he's got really good passing. He can see passing lanes and things like that.
But he also
got good control
somehow. In the air with his, I've never seen anyone strike the ball with his head the way he does. It just looks. Oh my God! It looks like I wouldn't want to be near the ball when he hits it.
I don't want to be in between him and the ball either.
Right.
So do we have anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay, thanks, John.
No, it's great to be here. This is good.
All right, NSC Fan TV.